Yeah. Straight up. Let's go. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Tap in, sit back, press replay. We're locked in with the Saints on a weekday. Now we talk every sport, every big play. Years on the grind, now we level up the view. From the dome to the world, get a better look at you. No script, just truth when we break it down. Barbershop talk, but we broadcast it loud. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. Real time talk, yeah, you know that it's live. From the draft to the deals, how the stars really thrive. From the court to the field to the big stage. We gon' cover every angle like a back page. No cap, no spin, just a clear take. If it's weak, we gon' say, let the fear break. From the city that believe when the odds stack, TJ got the whole sports world in the group chat. Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth.
Go and hit that like button.
TJ.
That's the things we need to talk about.
TJ Jones.
Thank y'all
Turn
for
it up,
tuning in.
let it ride. Straight Up TJ. We on your side. New chapter, same grind, same name.
Yeah.
Hit play, pull up, join the gang,
Yeah. Let's go. Yes, sir. What's going on? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. Welcome to another edition of the Straight Up TJ Podcast. Thank you so much for allowing the Straight Up TJ Podcast to be a part of your listening or viewing pleasure, or both. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got some things that we need to discuss. Come on in, have a seat. Shouts out to everybody in the chat right now that were waiting. Shouts out to everybody that just pulled up to the spot. Got to talk about Saints training camp day number 3, second day of on-field activities. But we all know that the Saints on this day are not short of headlines. All right, we're going to be talking about training camp. We're going to be talking about the unfortunate news about Brian Brzee. We're going to be talking about Drew Brees asking Sean Payton to induct him into the Hall of Fame. We're going to be talking about Taysom Hill hanging it up. Well, it looks like he's hanging it up. Well, at least with the New Orleans Saints. And, of course, we got to talk about number 12, Chris Olave, receiving a 4-year extension from the New Orleans Saints. But it's very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is put your comments in the chat. Now, we ain't out here. You ain't got to be Big Bang Hank. You ain't got to be out here, whoa, look at me, right? All you have to do is put your comments in the chat to be a part of the show. We're a very interactive podcast. All you got to do is put them comments in the chat if you want to tap in.
Yeah. Tap in. Straight Up TJ on the mic. If you with me, let me know. Drop your name in the chat tonight. I want that real talk, not a ghost. Say what get you the most. If you vibing, make it loud. We can run it back, go coast to coast. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
That. Yeah, run it right back. Put your comments in the chat. We would like to hear from you. Straight Up TJ, tap in. Straight Up TJ, tap in. Put your comments in the chat. Let the whole room see it too. Straight Up TJ, tap in. Straight Up TJ, tap in.
Yes, sir. Put them comments in the chat if you want to tap in. Yes, sir. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's not waste nobody time. Saints training camp is him. And, of course, this is an exciting time if you are a New Orleans Saints fan. It's the fact that football is back. It's the fact that we're actually talking about football. is the fact that we aren't using hypotheticals and what ifs and what could be's when it comes to football. We're actually watching it in real time. And the New Orleans Saints took to the practice field for the second time, and it's their third day of training camp. And I have to say, I was excited about some of the clips that I seen making its rounds around social media. Of course, we got to talk about Jordan Tyson being out there looking legit, making plays, and doesn't seem like the spotlight is too big for him. He's out there pretty sure of himself. There's a few things that he needs to work on, a little miscommunication between him and Tyler Shough that caused the interception, and Quincy Riley ended up picking the ball off. But that's going to come with the territory. But the more reps Jordan Tyson gets with Tyler Shough, with the offense, I just think they'll end up being on the same page. I like this kid a lot, man. He isn't one of those guys that's just, whoa, look at me. He seems like he's extremely humble, but he's extremely confident in his abilities. And, you know, you look at the offense and you hear all of these different stories that's coming out of training camp, day number 3, second day of on-field activities. It looks as if the defense got the better of the day. And before anybody start getting all upset and getting all nervous and, oh, man, look at the Saints, man. Everybody talking about Tyler Shough and the defense out there having their way. Do you understand that you want the defense to have a good day? If the Saints defense was not having a good day and Tyler Shough was just out there throwing the ball all over the place, just basically doing long handoffs against the defense, then I would be concerned. I would be concerned because that can create a false sense of reality for the offense. And when your defense is struggling, what are you actually building your offense on, right? So the fact that the defense was able to get busy today, you had the front getting pressure on Tyler Shough. I can respect the fact that the defense is getting the best of the offense, because we have to keep in mind, folks, this is the New Orleans Saints training camp, all right? This wasn't a joint practice where the opposing team's defense was having its way against the offense. It was the New Orleans Saints defense having its way against the New Orleans Saints offense. And I think that's something we all can live with. And I'm pretty sure as time goes on, we will get reports that the Saints offense had a good day. But there were some good plays that were made. Like I said, Jordan Tyson made a play. Noah Fant made some plays. We seen a video of Alvin Kamara running for a touchdown up the middle. So it's going to be a process, right? You got some guys that are still trying to figure it out, young, inexperienced. You got some first-year guys on the offense. That's going to come with the territory. So there's no need for anybody to be upset and be nervous. I see this all the time, and that's when you know football is back, and that's when you know that the damn trolls are out. All right, I don't see none of this energy during the offseason, but as soon as something happened, an interception, a ball hit the ground, all of a sudden everybody just thinking about the worst. Man, please, pretty please. It is very young, very early in this process for anybody to formulate an opinion, except if you're just trying to be a troll or a negative Nancy. I like what the New Orleans Saints are doing. The vibes are high. It just seems like everybody is playing off one another. There's a kinship going on in New Orleans, and I think it's something that we all can appreciate. The culture is starting to look and resemble Kellen Moore, which is something that we all want to see. We're looking at a new head coach going into his second season, and the team is starting to be built in his image. Now, the question is, can they maintain some momentum? Can they live up to the hype? We'll get to that down the road. But right now, everybody's just trying to establish themselves and trying to put some of that work in. So credit to the defense, Chase Young. I think I seen Caden Ellis out there just slinging Devin Neal to the side like a rag doll. I mean, shouts out to the defense getting the better of the offense on Thursday. But I am also looking forward to Chris Olave hitting the field. As we know, Chris Olave was limited as he was going through his contract negotiations. And we all know that is at its end. All right. We know that Chris Olave has received a contract extension, which we're about to get to in just a few minutes. But we're going to stop right there, and we're going to draw our attention to the chat. Very simple. Once again, if you're new to this channel, first off, if you're new, where the hell you been? We've been here since 2018. But if you are new to this channel, I ask that you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and if you want to interact, you got something to say, you want to say it with your chest, put it in a chat, all right? But let's go ahead and look at the chat, and I'm just going to go ahead and just randomly hit the stroll button. Bow, stop, all right? Well, first off, I got to acknowledge the person that donated to the show, all right? Somebody that's keeping the lights and the phones on. Hobo Raider, thank you very much for the $5. Says TJ, it's Josh. After 5 long years, I have finally reached my goal weight. I started at 512 and am now 250, 248 actually. Well, Josh, congratulations to you. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. That is not an easy feat to lose that much weight. And just continue to press on, brother. Keep on pressing on. Keep on practicing good eating habits, good healthy habits, because those things are extremely important. For somebody that is a type 1 diabetic, I understand the importance of nutrition and dieting and exercise, etc., man. So congratulations to you, man. But it don't stop there, man. If you can lose that much weight, I mean, you can set new goals for yourself, whether it's exercise regimens, whether it's eating regimens. You already showed that you have the discipline, my friend. So keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. That's what the type of positive energy that we need here on this show, man. Positive vibes right here. Just like the Saint training camp so far. Like TJ say, 134 million of them things. That's yes, sir. Chosen 134 million of them things. We're gonna get into the Chris Olave talk in just a minute. Shout out to them after show boys and girls. Yeah, the ones that can't make it, the ones that ain't here. Shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to them after show boys and after
show. Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting.
Yes. They be tweeting, they be posting. Shouts out to the after show boys and the after show girls out there, man. 504, let's go. Who that? Says Brian. Appreciate you for being here. Said to all the brothers and sisters that ain't here. That's right, man. To them that's gonna catch the show when it's all said and done. Shouts out to them. Let's see, AI a fool, boy. Yeah, man. Look, you can do some amazing things with it, man. You can do some amazing things with it. Let's see, it's practice. People need to chill out. It doesn't matter. Stats doesn't matter. It matters. It doesn't matter, but it matters, man. You practice the way that you're gonna play. And when you start to see progress during like training camp and some of these some of these activities, yeah, I mean, you can write home a little bit about it, but it does matter, especially like when we're talking about doing installs, when we're talking about implementing offensive and defensive tendencies, it's extremely important. It's extremely important. So just make sure that you all understand that. All right. But it says keep that same energy. Yeah, man. Keep that same energy, man. Yeah, keep that same energy. Yep. All the way through. All right. If you feel like the team can do something, man, keep that same energy. If you don't feel like the team's gonna do nothing and they end up doing something, like keep that same energy, man. Don't go running and hiding about different situations, man. Let's see. Please calm the hell down. It's training camp. It's supposed to have ups and downs on offense and defense. Yeah, anybody that's getting upset about that, Pammy, man. I mean, come on, man. Like seriously. But that's just people that don't understand football. Like, I'm serious. Like, some of these people, they just jump out the trees and they just be ready to talk. And I just think that sometimes they know that there's going to be a lot of discourse because football season is back, and they just be talking out their ass, man. I'm serious. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous that, okay, so I'll give you an example. So I tweeted earlier today on Thursday. I said Tyler Shough has some Josh Allen in him. Right. Now, when somebody says they have Josh Allen or they have a person in them, pause. That doesn't mean that they possess all of the traits that a person has, right? But then all of a sudden, man, whoa, man, he ain't Josh Allen, man, whoa. Like, what the hell is wrong with Josh Allen? Like, first off, like Josh Allen is a MVP. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but that's what people fall in front of their televisions and people tell you, oh, Josh Allen isn't that good because he didn't go to the Super Bowl. Then all of a sudden, like, people make it seem like saying that Josh Allen is something that's derogatory. I can tell you right now, there's not a Saints fan on the face of God's green earth that would not accept if somebody was to say that Tyler Shough can end up being Josh Allen. Like, if somebody said to you that Tyler Shough can end up having a career like Josh Allen, who wouldn't want that? Like, seriously, who wouldn't want a career like Josh Allen? Now, some people would say, well, Josh Allen ain't never went to the Super Bowl. But doesn't Josh Allen possess the abilities to make the Super Bowl? We already know that he has been on a doorstep multiple times. And that is what I'm talking about when I look at these morons on social media that make it seem as if saying that Josh Allen or comparing a quarterback to Josh Allen is something that's demeaning. That means that you just don't know about football. This man is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And yes, I do see traits that are possessed by Tyler Shough that resembles Josh Allen. And there's nothing wrong with that. Who wouldn't want Josh Allen? If somebody was to say that Tyler Shough can be a Josh Allen quarterback, what Saints fan outside of ones that don't know a damn thing about football, wouldn't want to accept that? Who wouldn't want that? Because Josh Allen has the capability of going to the Super Bowl. So I don't know what the hell people are talking about, but my whole point is people were like, oh, man, Josh Allen, man, he be throwing interceptions. Like, what quarterback don't? What quarterback don't throw interceptions? That man is a multi-time All-Pro, league MVP. Who wouldn't want that? If somebody was to say that Tyler Shough at the end of this season would be a league MVP, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't accept that? Who wouldn't accept it? So I don't know what these boys be talking about on social media, man. I mean, people just be talking out they behind, man. I don't know. But I for damn sure would accept the fact that if Tyler Shough can end up being the type of quarterback that Josh Allen is. I would take that without any hesitation. I would sit in front of my television every Sunday watching this man go out there and ball the hell out. Because I don't know if you watch Josh Allen play, but I'm telling you, after the Saints game is all said and done, I watch me a lot of Buffalo Bills games because I enjoy watching Josh Allen play. And if you haven't seen Josh Allen play and you only look at Monday Morning Quarterback or ESPN creating a narrative that if a quarterback doesn't make it to the Super Bowl, then that means he ain't good. If you fall into that category, that's on you. But Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's a top 5 quarterback. So who wouldn't want a top 5 quarterback as a starting franchise quarterback of their favorite team? Let's see. All I care about is people do good game. People just need to stop acting like it's the end of the world. No one is perfect. Yeah, man, people going to throw interceptions. And this is the time where you want to make those type of mistakes. You want to try to build chemistry with your teammates. You want to try to maybe make some throws or take some risk that you normally wouldn't take in a game. That way you can actually put that stuff on film in order for you to learn from those mistakes, man. So, but once again, that's coming from individuals that don't know a damn thing about football. They watch an 18-second clip and then all of a sudden they think they know the whole story. Close the damn book because you ain't even read it. Let's say I have question though. Why the hell does Matt Moscona hate everything the Saints does? I don't know, man. I think that I wouldn't say that Matt hates everything the Saints does. I think that Matt comes from I think he's coming from a place where he's like he got that St. Louis, Missouri type mind frame, right? That Missouri mind frame. You got to show me. Like, you can have optimism and you can be excited all you want to, but over the last like 4 to 5 years, the New Orleans Saints haven't really produced on the field. And until they actually do, you only can go by what they have done. I mean, the Saints, as high as people morale is about the team and what their expectations are in 2026, I mean, still they finished 6-11. So they still got to go out there and prove it. So he probably just waiting and reserving his judgment until the Saints give him something to cheer about. Like some people feel like, this is the year that the Saints are turning around, and that's great. But some people probably just reserving their judgment, and I just think that's where Matt falls. I don't think Matt is just sitting up here just hating on the Saints. This guy is from from New Orleans. He grew up going to Saints games, and he has an appreciation for them. But at the same time, sometimes people just got to be shown what others feel like is going to happen. They want to see it actually happen. But I don't take anything from Matt. I think that Matt is one of the best radio personalities in the state of Louisiana. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, I think that he's one of the best. Like, for somebody that does broadcasting, that does radio on a consistent basis every single day, I can tell you it's not easy doing what he does. And, the fact that he incites that type of emotion from you just tells you he can do his job pretty well. Because if he didn't, then you wouldn't give a damn about what he says. Damn it if they like the Chris Olave signing. Damn it if they don't. It's official. Well, I don't know if anybody would object. Chris Olave getting paid. I don't know what that is. Plus, that's Paxton's favorite team. Shouts out to the Bills. Yeah, that's definitely Paxton's favorite team, man. He likes watching the Buffalo Bills, and he likes Josh Allen. So I'm not one of them dads like, oh, I grew up in New Orleans, or I grew up a Saints fan, or I cover the Saints. You got to be a Saints fan too. Nah, you can like who you want, as long as it ain't the Falcons, right? I mean, we draw the line, and y'all already know my boy don't rock like that, man. If you're on social media, y'all already know that my boy ain't rocking with them birds, man. You already know. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick before we switch gears and talk about Chris Olave. But y'all already know, man, my boy ain't rocking with them birds, man. So, but yeah, man, he's entitled to like any team that he wants, man. He that's on him, man. But he likes Josh Allen. That's like the one team that he sit there and watch football with me. That he'll watch a Buffalo Bills game. And if they mostly play at prime time or something like that, I'm talking about as soon as he wakes up in the morning, he's like, did the Bills win? All right, but this is my boy right here, man. Y'all already know what time it is. There it is right there. Y'all see my boy. All right? Y'all see what my boy doing. Y'all see it. Y'all see it, man. Y'all saw it. Hold on, let me put it back on the screen for those that may not have checked it out. Y'all see what my boy doing? What he doing? Thumbs down. Thumb down for them birds, right? We was on a trip. We was on our way to Florida, and we stopped. We had to pass through Georgia, so we had a Buc-ee's right there, man. They had a whole shelf. Of course, we in Georgia, so they made a little shrine for the Falcons. But he had to let y'all know what time it was. All right, thumb down for them birds. All right, thumb down for them birds. But, man, let's go ahead and finish this up, man. Let's go ahead and switch gears, man. No, y'all ain't just hear me, come here to see my boy put a thumbs down for the Atlanta Falcons. But thumbs up to the New Orleans Saints for getting it done with Chris Olave. Chris Olave receives a contract extension. Chris Olave receives a 4-year, $134 million contract with $90 million guaranteed. He will be paid $33 million annually. So congratulations to Chris Olave. Congratulations to the New Orleans Saints getting the deal done. Chris Olave was limited during training camp so far. Didn't really take part in the team drills, but he did some one-on-one stuff, just to make sure that he was around. We all know that Chris Olave has been committed to the team. Chris Olave last season bet on himself. When a question was asked about his contract extension last year, he was honest. He was forthcoming. He said that he has something to prove. He doesn't have leverage, right? He has to go out there and prove that he can actually play and stay healthy. And he did that, right? For the exception of the blood clot, the last game of the season, he couldn't play. Chris Olave was out there every single week, and Chris Olave showed up and had his best season statistically. We know about the 100 receptions, the 1,100 yards, the 9 touchdowns. He was a second-team All-Pro. And you can tell that Chris Olave went into that season motivated. And I'm gonna be honest. I think the game that really turned the season around for Chris Olave was the first game versus the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. And I can only imagine what he was thinking going into that stadium again, because the season before in 2024, he was knocked out cold on that very field, right? And you have to go back to the scene of the crime, so to speak, and have to go out there and play. And I'm pretty sure there was some anxiety that was flaring up, and some things that you had to kind of push to the side in order for you to press through. And he went out there and he had a really good game. And I think that kind of exercised some demons for him, and I just think that he started to become a little bit more confident, and you can see it every single week. And not to mention, you can tell like he has a lot of respect for Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough, respects him. He counts on him in crucial situations. And, the turning point, again, where I just think that he really started to build that momentum was the game versus the Carolina Panthers, the second game, where the New Orleans Saints were driving to take the lead late in the fourth quarter against the Carolina Panthers. And every single play on that drive, Tyler Shough went to Chris Olave. I think he had maybe like 4 or 5 catches on that drive alone. And he finished it off with a touchdown one-on-one with the best cornerback the Carolina Panthers have to offer in J.C. Horn. So Chris Olave still, to me, he still can build on his resume. He still can be, much better than what he has presented on the field. And not to say that he hasn't shown that he has great skills or he has great abilities. I just think that it hasn't really come together fully for him just yet. And when I say that, in years past that he's not a number one receiver, he doesn't look like a number one receiver, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the capabilities. And I always leave it at that. I always say like he has the capabilities, but he has to build on that. And every single year you see him taking the offseason activities seriously. He gained muscle this season. He doesn't really look like he still possesses that smaller frame. It seemed like he really been in a weight room. He's got his confidence back. And I just think that it can be something special, man. I think he has the right quarterback. I think he has the right supporting cast around him. And most importantly, you got the confidence of the organization. So congratulations to Chris Olave getting the contract extension. Now he can go out there at training camp, know that his future is secured. He ain't got to worry about, all the nicks and knacks. He can go out there, take part in those on the field drills now. And him and Jordan Tyson can work on the chemistry of being that 1-2 punch at the wide receiver position that the New Orleans Saints need. So looking forward to seeing CO on the field, getting those reps in and building that chemistry that was, I guess, established last season with Tyler Shough. TJ, in your own opinion, who's the better receiver, Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson? No, okay. So who's the better receiver right now? Who's the better receiver right now? Who's the better receiver right now? It is very close, but I would say Garrett Wilson. But it's not by much. It's almost like it's like a photo. If it's a track meet, it's like a photo finish, right? And it's not to say, and I'm gonna tell you how close it is. If Chris Olave works on maybe a few things this season, then it wouldn't even be a discussion or debate. But I just think that when it comes to Garrett Wilson at this point possesses a certain trait that when I look at, and this is me, I guess, like, this is my personal opinion. Garrett Wilson possesses a trait that you don't really see in too many wide receivers. Like he has that dog in him. Like he is a guy that is relentless. He wants the football when it matters most. He's boisterous, he's expressive, and he wants to eat your lunch. And I just think that when it comes down to being an elite receiver, being a top guy, I think that you have to possess that trait. I think you have to possess that trait. All of the greats have it. All the elite players have it. And Garrett Wilson possesses that. But it's close. Like it's very, very close. It's very close. But, right now I will have to give it to Garrett Wilson. I'll have to give it to Garrett Wilson. And that's not a shot at Chris Olave at all. But Garrett Wilson got that dog in him, man. And that's something, that I appreciate in every wide receiver that is, really good. Like, I just think that you have to have it in you. You got to be relentless. Can't be passive in certain situations. I hope those Falcon Succaneers and Black Pussycats are going to say about Chris Olave has signed an extension with his contract for real. I don't care what these other haters about his signing. Is his payday for real. Yeah, man. Look, they can say whatever they want, man. I seen somebody, man, I guess there was a Carolina Panthers fan, and thinking it was a comment about I made about Tyler Shough, of course, the Josh Allen comment. I think the response was throwing interceptions and crucial games. I'm thinking, like, dude, didn't this same quarterback that came win a game beat your team twice, and not to mention look better than your starting quarterback doing it? I mean, look, that ain't the time. I mean, I know Carolina went to the playoffs last year, but man, Tyler Shough was out there balling against those guys. Like, honestly, the confidence that Saints fans have for Tyler Shough kind of came out of those games against the Carolina Panthers. So I don't know what that boy was talking about, but at the end of the day, they can be upset all they want to, but every team, they need to be focused on the things that their team has to do to get better. Plain and simple. The Falcons, they had to figure out what's going to happen with the quarterback situation. You got Tua out there nicked up. You got Michael Penix out there nicked up. I believe they signed Cooper Rush. And then you got Matt Ryan out there throwing passes to the wide receivers because they shorthanded. Like, man, what are we doing out here, man? TJ, how many times has a quarterback got traded mid-season? Has that ever happened? A starting quarterback? A starting quarterback? Not too many times. Not too many times a starting quarterback got traded mid-season. Like maybe a backup quarterback has happened a few times, but not a starting quarterback, not a quarterback that's meaningful to a football team. TJ, I told you years ago, Olave needs to have that Stephon Diggs mind frame, that I'm him mindset. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that really just makes me skeptical about Chris Olave, like as far as like picking him over some of the top receivers in the league. Like, he has all the skills and the abilities to be that. Like, if you see his route running ability, you see his speed, you see like all of the tools to be an elite receiver. But it's just something I just think that great receivers need to have, and that's selfishness in certain situations. Like, you want the ball, man. Like, you demand the football. And, like I said, there's nothing wrong with his personality or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I just think that separates the goods from the greats, the good from the elite. It just does. How many great elite receivers that you ever seen have been passive? Like, and they're recognized as being elite or great. Like, every great wide receiver, for the most part, I ever seen that has a gold jacket on that people revere and cheer, like, has had a level of selfishness about them, a ego about them, unapologetically, like confident. Like that, I've never seen a passive, like kind of timid, not afraid, afraid to Like really just go out there and get it and have that dog in him. I just never seen a wide receiver that didn't possess those traits be considered an all-time great. Like you think about Randy Moss, you know he had it. T.O., you know he had it, right? I mean, Jerry Rice, he had it. Like Julio Jones, you know what I'm saying? He had it. Antonio Brown, he had it. Like you just got to have it. Like even as quiet and reserved as Megatron was, like if you listen to like Megatron like post-career and listen to some of his interviews, like the thoughts and the views that you have about Calvin Johnson. Speaking of Chris Johnson, man, shouts out to Chris Johnson. But Calvin Johnson with Megatron, like you listen to him, you like, okay, man, I see why this dude was a dog. This man wanted the ball almost every time. Like, man, it don't matter. Like, look for me. You gotta have that, man. You gotta have it. Diggs not selfish. He just has that dog mentality. The man was just in the Super Bowl last year, bro. I mean, nah. But here's the thing. When people hear the word selfish, it's like they don't think about anybody else but themselves. Like they're self-absorbed. They're egomaniacs. That's not always the case. I'm talking about a level of selfishness where it's like, you need to play, you need to look at me, like look towards me. I am the guy that you need to be looking towards. And if you don't, we got a problem. And we know that Stefon Diggs, throughout the years has had those type of tendencies. So being selfish doesn't mean like you don't care about your teammates, you don't care about anybody else but yourself. But you damn sure want the football when it matters most. I can tell you that. All right. Let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's go ahead and move on. I don't have any graphics for the next couple of topics that I'm going to talk about, but go ahead and take that off the screen. But let's go ahead and focus on, let's talk a little bit about Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, of course, has parted ways with the New Orleans Saints. We know on Taysom Hill's social media page, he wrote a very heartfelt speech about the city of New Orleans, the Saints organization, thanking them and thanking the fans and, just showing his appreciation for the city of New Orleans. Now, number one, congratulations to Taysom Hill on an amazing career. Definitely an all-time great New Orleans Saints player. When you think about Taysom Hill, you think about a guy in 2017, the New Orleans Saints found by mistake. We know that Sean Payton went on record saying that he was actually looking at someone else. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Christian McCaffrey's brother or something like that. But while watching the Green Bay film, he just watched Taysom Hill keep making plays. And that made the idea of Taysom Hill coming to New Orleans, enticing to Sean Payton. Sean Payton was able to utilize Taysom Hill in a multifaceted of ways. Taysom Hill was able to carve out a lane for himself where in some cases, in most cases, guys that come into the league and hold a place like Taysom Hill probably wouldn't be in the league anymore. But Taysom Hill carved out a lane for himself for being really, really good at different positions. And this is why I'm on record, and I'm going to say this again, and I don't care. I will debate anybody. Taysom Hill is one of the greatest football players of all time. Now, hear me out, right? Hear me out. When people start talking about the greatest football players of all time, what do they think about? They think about that person's position, them playing it at an elite level, at a high level, and they just call them an all-time great. I'm talking about a football player, a person you put out there on the field, and he's noticed. You ask him to do a bunch of things, he will do it. You got to go back to the 1950s, the 1960s, probably 1940s, way back in the day, right? With the Acme Packers and all them, where you find a player that is so meaningful to a team, right? Taysom Hill was that. And the fact that you still see teams that will put a tight end in the backfield and have him running a football. You have the 49ers out here using Deebo Samuel all those years. Speaking of which, Deebo Samuel is now back with the 49ers. But they used him not only at wide receiver, but at running back and had him at all these different positions. How these teams find these tweeners and they create packages for them. All of that stems from Taysom Hill's success in the National Football League, because we know that the NFL is a copycat league, meaning teams mimic what they see as successful. They take successful things that teams do and they try to add it to what they're doing. Taysom Hill, who had no business being in the league no longer than maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe if you put him out there on special teams on some Steve Tasker type stuff, Taysom Hill carved out a 9-year career in the National Football League, just doing a multifaceted of things and being great at it. He definitely is going to be in the Saints Hall of Fame. He's definitely going to be in the Ring of Honor. And the New Orleans Saints should only put a dog in the jersey number 7. I'm sorry, jersey, like, you can't be practice squad player number 3 wearing number 7. You have got to be a dog. Number 7 should be almost similar to what they do at LSU. Like, I'm serious. You cannot be a dog and not wear number 7. Like, you just can't, man. No disrespect to Hunter Deckers, but the chances of him making a New Orleans Saints team, I got a better chance probably, right? I mean, seriously. The New Orleans Saints only should allow a dog to wear number 7, because an absolute dog for 9 seasons wore number 7. But congratulations once again to Taysom Hill, an all-time great, definitely one of the greatest Saints of all time. And where, regardless to if he is finished with football or Sean Payton is calling him right now to acquire his services in Denver, he has had a great career, and he definitely is a fan favorite. And Taysom Hill, like many other Saints greats, won't have to worry about a shrimp po' boy coming, being paid for on his own dime. All right, so congratulations to him. TJ, we said the same thing. Chris Olave, TJ, yeah, I've already mentioned that. Greg, if you haven't heard that segment, be kind and rewind. I don't know if you were just mentioning him or you just pulled up, but yeah, we talked about him too, man. Let's see. If you ever heard about legendary former New Orleans Saint quarterback Drew Brees has talked to former New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton with emotional talk in earlier today, TJ. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Sean Payton being asked by Drew Brees to induct him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll get into that in just a second. It says, what was one of your favorite Taysom Hill games or plays that you can remember? My favorite Taysom Hill game actually came in a loss, because I really felt like if the New Orleans Saints leaned on him that day, the New Orleans Saints would have won the football game. And that was the game when the New Orleans Saints took on the Minnesota Vikings. And I think y'all remember that game. I'm not talking about the overtime game. I'm talking about the game where Taysom Hill could do no wrong, right? I mean, we know Taysom Hill had the big pass to Devontae Harris. We seen Taysom Hill out there. I think he had maybe like 3 touchdowns in that game. I mean, he was unstoppable. And I think that if the New Orleans Saints would have used Taysom Hill at the end, they probably would have won. Look, I got to keep it 100. He was looking like the best football player on the field that day. And, I have to say it. Like, even when Drew Brees was out there, he was the best player out there that day. Go back and watch that game. Like, anybody that's like, man, you tripping, TJ, go and watch that game. Taysom Hill was on fire. Everything Taysom Hill touched that day turned to gold. That was my favorite Taysom Hill game. I mean, we know about Taysom Hill moments. Some of those angry Taysom Hill runs, the fact of how he just absolutely loses his freaking mind every time he plays the Falcons. I call him the Falcon killer, because whenever everything else failed against the Falcons, put the ball into the hands of Taysom Hill, and he just go rip the heart out of the Atlanta Falcon faithful. I mean, that's just what he has done throughout his career. So, yeah, I mean, he had several moments, but that game in particular, that was probably my favorite Taysom Hill game. And I just think that if the New Orleans Saints would have put, their pride to the side and put Taysom Hill out there on some QB power tip, Minnesota couldn't stop him. They could not stop Taysom Hill that day. And I think the Saints kind of, I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot, so to speak, by not utilizing him towards the end of that game. Man, cornerbacks out their mind. They have Falcons to win the division with the Bucks next, and then us, then Panthers, idiots. Well, I thought you said cornerback. I'm thinking you thinking CBs as in cornerbacks. Man, CBS. My bad, Mad Drum. All right, I thought that was I thought there was abbreviation, but nah, CBS. Like, man, let them believe whatever the heck they want to believe, man. Whatever the heck they want to believe, right? I don't care, and you shouldn't care, right? I mean, let them believe whatever they want to believe, and honestly, until the Saints go out there and prove it, I mean, all the it means absolutely nothing. What we think or any other Saint fan think that's not watching this. Got to go out there and handle business. Mad Drummer, like TJ said, selfishness, let them have their cake and eat it too. Yeah, they can believe whatever they want. You got to play the games, though. You got to play the games. Mr. Jones, what's up, man? 23. Appreciate you for being here. Man. Let's go ahead and move on to the final topic of this episode. We're going to talk a little bit about Drew Brees. Of course, we know next week Drew Brees will be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Justifiably so. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, depends on who you talk to, the greatest quarterback of all time. Drew Brees, one of the greatest, one of the greatest free agents of all time. I honestly think he is the greatest free agent of all time. Some people would say Reggie White. That's the argument, but I don't think you can find a free agent outside of maybe Kurt Warner in the Arizona Cardinals or something like that. But even he did that in a small sample size. But the way that Drew Brees was able to transform the minds and how people perceive the New Orleans Saints during his time, and even to this day, is absolutely remarkable. The New Orleans Saints historically were known as a snake-bitten franchise, a laughingstock, an acquired taste. And Drew Brees legitimized the franchise by going out there, not being the tallest, not having the strongest arm, not being the biggest, but always making an impact. He was a surgeon on the field. I mean, he would just, somebody said it was almost like death by 1,000 cuts. Like, he would just carve up a defense and made it look easy on some Sundays. So he definitely deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And on Thursday, we seen the video of Sean Payton getting the FaceTime phone call from Drew Brees, being asked by Drew to induct him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And it's only right that the greatest quarterback and the greatest New Orleans Saint of all time be inducted by the New Orleans Saints' greatest coach of all time, in Sean Payton. So those two are synonymous with the success of the New Orleans Saints. I mean, you can't talk about one without the other. So it's only right that Sean Payton inducts Drew Brees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, we seen Sean Payton being overcome by emotion, being asked, that honor being bestowed upon him to induct Drew Brees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And like I said, man, these two are the most important individuals in the history of the New Orleans Saints, because you can't write the successful history of the New Orleans Saints without them. So congratulations to Drew Brees. I think that a lot of Saints fans are going to be emotional, especially watching Drew Brees go up there and, give his speech, the bus being revealed, because, that still to this day is the New Orleans Saints guy. He is the most important player in the history of the state of Louisiana. Some people will talk about Pistol Pete Maravich. Some people will talk about some of these other greats that have come out of the state of Louisiana, justifiably so. But Drew Brees is the most important and greatest player, in my opinion, to ever play in the state of Louisiana, and it's hard pressed to disagree with that. I mean, he owned, when he retired, all of the statistical records for the most part from a quarterback until Tom Brady played a couple years and broke them. But Drew Brees is an incredible athlete. He's an incredible human being. He carried the franchise on his back. He was a great representative for the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana. I don't think that he can go to New Orleans without a wallet, just like I mentioned about Taysom Hill. You would have to worry about nowhere to eat, and he wouldn't even have to go to any one of the restaurants that he owns. So what a great career, man, and what an honor it was watching Drew Brees just go out there and just play the game of football, man. I mean, you think about like some of those moments, some of those games, and at the time, as Saints fans, as Saints onlookers, reporters, took a lot of that for granted. And when you look at the state of the Saints over the last 3 to 4, 5 years, you'll see how important he is, man. I believe Bobby Hebert would often say when Drew Brees was still playing, he said, I know people trying to rush Drew Brees out of the door. He said, but you don't miss something until it's gone. And a lot of people are going to miss Drew Brees when he leaves. And the impact that Drew Brees left behind, is still being felt. It's because as of right now, as we root for Tyler Shough, there's yet to be a quarterback to replicate the consistency and the success of Drew Brees. And that just goes to show you how great he was, how much of a moment he was, and, just how special he was as a quarterback. So, congratulations to Drew Brees, and looking forward to seeing his speech and him being enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The Saints might be one of the best teams that find undrafted or unknown players and have them make a name for themselves. Yeah, that's true. They do a good job. I mean, think about Taysom Hill was undrafted, even though the Saints, they didn't like sign him after he was drafted or whatever. He was with the Packers, but they still found him. Deontay Hardy, he was a really good return guy. Rashid Shaheed, he was a really good guy, player for the New Orleans Saints. They always seem to find these diamond in the rough, these impactful players, at these different positions. So, yeah, man, they do a good job, man. So credit to the scouting department. As much criticism as we give them, I mean, sometimes, they do a good job. And as of right now, they have been doing a good job over the last 2 seasons. It's not too much that the New Orleans Saints front office has done that people would object to. It's been a lot of positive vibes and a lot of positive things coming out of Airline. I unfortunately it had to come with the uprising of the Saints fans saying we ain't about to take this issue no more, and y'all need to put a better product on the field or y'all gonna lose us. We ain't coming to these games and spending our money. It took all that, but at the end of the day, whatever it took, they were able to wake up and try to make things happen and try to, make this franchise worth watching again. And I can appreciate that. So I hope everybody gets the Madden 27 next week, TJ. I'm sure we're going to get the game on my Xbox Series X at the end of the month. For real, everybody playing on College Football 27. Yeah, I mean, I got College Football 27, but yeah, I think Paxton is enjoying it a little bit more than me, man. He's been playing with the Coastal Carolina Shants, and I'm proud of my boy, man. He's been really working on the sticks as of lately, on the Xbox. And, he was so excited, man, because he picked Coastal Carolina and he was playing against Appalachian State, man. And that's their rival for those that don't know, it will follow Sunbelt. And he ended up winning the game 13-7. He was so excited, man. He wanted me to take pictures of the screen and stuff, because that was the first time, he's played a football game, and was able to win. So, yeah, but he's been enjoying it, man, and it's fun, man. I actually enjoy playing a college football game. Haven't had time to really do it as of late, but at the end of the day, man, fun stuff. I'm more of a college football, 27 type guy than I am with Madden. I feel like Madden be making the same game every year. because, you know, they don't have any competition. At least college football tries. Like Madden don't even try at all. Madden just regenerates people and do face scans. And, you know, that's basically it. Boy got that. Yeah, he got that money, man. Chris Olave got that bread. Got that bread. I think the Mario Davis was second best Saints free agent signing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. He one of them. I would have to go into like the history of the New Orleans Saints to see, but yeah, I would definitely put him up there. Yeah. I would have to think about that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you right now. You know, just not thinking about some of the guys that came through. Even I lost respect for Sean Payton, but I understand why Drew Brees picked Sean Payton. I respect that. Look, the respect level for Sean Payton can be diminished, and not, you know, or it can't. But I can tell you this: Sean Payton, like, we wouldn't even be up here with the same type of enthusiasm, the same type of energy for the New Orleans Saints if it wasn't for that man. Like, you could be upset about him moving on, and you can have your reservations about how he was, you know, how he dipped up out of the door. Like, you can say all those things, but one thing that you cannot take away from Sean Payton, he is the greatest New Orleans Saints head coach of all time, and he legitimized this franchise. Point blank, period. And he embodied what New Orleans is all about. Like, he was, and he forever will be. You know what the New Orleans Saints needed, and he's the greatest. He's the greatest head coach in Saints history. Rather you have your reservations, your thoughts, your viewpoints about him or not, he is the greatest head coach in New Orleans Saints history. Has generated the greatest success in New Orleans Saints history. I like to see you talk about your son with so much excitement. That really warms my heart. Hey, man, that's my little man. I love my son, man. Like, I love my boy. Like, that's the best. Look, that's the best thing in my life. Him, my wife, of course, God. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Like, I spend so much time with my son. Like, some people, if you follow me on social media, you know, like, man, man, that's my man right there. That's my guy. Right? I mean, there's nothing greater in my life than being a husband and a father. And I mean that. And spending time with my son is important to me because, you know, I really feel like sons need their fathers, daughters need their fathers too, but sons definitely need their fathers. And in a lot of ways, you know, fathers need their sons, like, because it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you a lot about patience. It teaches you a lot about, you know, just life in general. It puts things into perspective. So, yeah, man, like, I enjoy spending time with my son, throwing a football around with him, just watching him do his thing and watching him grow. That's important to me. Like, anybody know, like, I stop what I'm doing, you know, for my family. I don't care what's going on with the Saints. I love covering the Saints, been a Saints fan my whole life, but family comes first. Says, I did like Jabari Greer signing, but hated what happened to him at the end of his career. Yeah, he definitely one of the best free agent signings for the Saints too. How old is Pac-Man? He's 7 years old. 7 years old now. Honestly, I just thought he was a jerk, too much arrogant. Yeah, I mean, if we being real, like, New Orleans Saints fans are too, you know. That's why I think that's why I think the relationship between Sean Payton and the Saints fans fits so well, because Sean Payton was petty, like Saints fans can be, arrogant, how Saints fans can be, especially when the Saints are winning. Like, he embodied what the city is, like the personality. Like, and I just think that that's the reason why it worked. Like, it just worked. And the thing about it is, it was almost like when Sean Payton first came to the Saints, it was like the New Orleans Saints fans, they didn't even really have that type of personality. It's like over the course of time, it was like Sean Payton like grabbed every Saints fan by the shirt and was like, look, come here, man. Do you know who you are? Oh, you don't know who you are? Let me show you what you can be. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you who you are and what you can be. And everybody like, dang, I can be this. I can roll like this. And everybody was like, okay, we can roll like this. And so I just think that the energy, the confidence, the swag that Saints fans have, like a lot of that, like it was given to them by this guy. It's hard pressed not to agree with that, man. Let's move Sanker to 7. Man, move a dog to 7. That's all I gotta say. He can't be no backup. You can't be on practice squad rocking 7. All right, you just can't be. You can't be. You can't be that, right? You can't be. You can't just be what they say. You can't just be any geek off the street. Y'all heard regulators can't be any geek off the street wearing number 7. You just can't be. Yep, Jonathan Velma is another one. Jonathan Velma was traded to the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't a free agent. Somebody check that for me. If I'm not mistaken, Jonathan Velma was traded to the Saints. I don't think he was a free agent. I think he came to the Saints with a trade. I wonder college football is worth it. Yeah, it worth it to me. But, I mean, different stroke for different folk. Yeah, but somebody check that for me. Check and see. I believe that Jonathan Velma was traded to the Saints. I don't think he was signed. I don't think he was a free agent. Hopefully, Olave and Tyson can become a dynamic duo. Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. A lot of great teams that have great offenses always have a really good 1-2 punch. So hopefully those two can be something special. First quarterback to throw for 80,000 passing yards. I mean, he was the first to do a lot of things. Yeah, so I think Jonathan Velma was traded to the Saints. Let me go ahead and take a look at that, man. Just give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure that that's accurate. But I agree with you. I don't think he was a free agent. But let me go ahead and check that. Let's see. All right, so yeah. On February 29, 2008, the Jets traded Velma to the New Orleans Saints for a fourth-round pick in the 2008 NFL Draft and a conditional pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, ultimately a third-round pick. So, yeah, he was traded to the Saints. Yeah, he was traded to the Saints. I thought so. But, yeah, I mean, Jonathan Velma still was an impactful player, but you have to put Jabari Greer in that. You have to put DeMario Davis in there, Drew Brees in there. I mean, the Saints have had like I'm trying to think some free agents that have been impactful. I mean, those are just a few that just come to mind right away. I'm trying to see. I mean, Chase Young can be one. Like Chase Young can be one if he has. I mean, he's young enough, and he has a lot of football ahead of him. He can actually be one of them. Darren Sharper, yeah, Darren Sharper had a good season with the Saints. Like he was a good free agent acquisition for the Saints. Like in his first year, he had 9 interceptions, and he was extremely instrumental in that opportunistic defense that helped the New Orleans Saints make the Super Bowl. But after that, man, he was pretty washed. He never replicated the success of that first year. I wouldn't put him in that category. I mean, impactful player, yeah. But we're talking about like guys that consistently did it and established themselves to a point where you can't, like, they became a part of the history of the team. Like, or like a true part. Like it's almost like they played for somebody else, but they're synonymous with the team. Like Drew Brees is that, DeMario Davis is that, Jabari Greer is that. I don't think Darren Sharper was that. You know, Darren Sharper was kind of at the twilight of his career, and he came to the Saints, and he had a little left in the tank. You know, luckily it was 9 interceptions in a season where the New Orleans Saints got their first Super Bowl championship, but I wouldn't put him in that. I was going to say Darren Sproles, but he didn't play to the Saints long. Impactful, like impactful. But I'm like, impactful free agents. There's a difference between impactful free agents and the greatest free agents. Like I would put Darren Sproles in the most impactful free agents in New Orleans Saints history. Yeah, like somebody like Joe Horn. Yeah, that would be a great. That would be a great right there. That would be a great. Like somebody that came from another team, signed with the team, and like made a career. Like made a career out of being an all-time great Saint. Like that's what I look at when I think about players like Joe Horn. But yeah, I'm just looking at some of this history right here. Yeah, but somebody like Joe Horn, man, who established himself as a Saint great. Yeah, somebody like that. Great show, but the chat is trash. Come on, man. Chat is great. I know what you're talking about. This is a great chat. This is a great cast of individuals right here, man. I can't agree with you on that one, buddy. TJ, does the NFL retire numbers because I never see jerseys or names in stadiums? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. First off, it all depends on the organization. Now, the organizations can retire numbers. Now, the New Orleans Saints, as crazy as this sounds, the New Orleans Saints don't retire numbers. They have an equipment manager who basically just kind of took it upon himself when you have all-time great players like Archie Manning and Drew Brees. Like you're not wearing this numbers. Like they just kind of like just said, okay, man, you ain't getting this, right? They just basically just kind of took it upon themselves to kind of put that out there. You think about the Cowboys, like they don't retire numbers. But you got some organizations that do, like the Steelers, they retire numbers. The Giants, they retire numbers. But the Saints, they don't retire numbers. Because, I feel like the number 57 should be retired. That was Ricky Jackson's old number. Number 9 definitely should be retired. Like that should be the first number to be retired. I think that number 94, when Cam Jordan retires, it needs to be retired. It's just certain numbers I feel like that need to be retired, right? And those are a few, in my opinion. But no, the New Orleans Saints don't do it, and a lot of these teams, like if they had an all-time great, and their organization is not known for retiring numbers, their equipment manager and equipment personnel kind of facilitates that and just be like, nah, you can't have that number right there. Shout out to Olave. Yeah, absolutely, man. Getting that bread. 51 should be retired. Yeah, Sam Mills, John Velma. Yeah, I mean, there's some great players to wear number 51. But yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think Sam Mills did enough in the Saints uniform. But I'm just talking about like Ricky Jackson, no brainer. Willie Roaf, number 77, no brainer. Drew Brees, number 9, no brainer. Cam Jordan, no brainer. Brian Cox was number 51 too. Yeah. I mean, but Brian Cox's best days were with the Chicago Bears, man. He was kind of, washed in the blood of the Lamb around the time he got with the Saints. I'm just being honest. He was still tough, mean, and rugged, but he gave some of his best years to the Bears, bro. I booted him out for good. Yeah, man. Yeah, Willie Roaf was a dog. Yeah, Willie Roaf definitely deserves to. Willie Roaf is to like top 3 New Orleans Saints great. Like Breeze, Cam, Willie, Ricky. That's Mount Rushmore to me. No disrespect to Archie Manning. I think Archie Manning is more. I'm about to take some backlash for this. I think Archie Manning is more of a martyr than an all-time great. Like I think people felt sorry for like Archie Manning because he got beat the holy hell like most of his career because the New Orleans Saints were terrible. So they always put this asterisk by like, what if the New Orleans Saints had an offensive line? Like, what if the New Orleans Saints had talent? Like, what if? You know, like they kind of attach that. They kind of attach that to Archie Manning. Like, but now Archie Manning statistically, he ain't knocking anybody's socks off. Like, I'm sorry. like, Archie Manning was held in high esteem when they talk about the all-time Saints great, because the Saints throughout their history, they ain't really have a lot of great players. Like, it's just the truth. So as time goes on, you're going to see like players like just completely like just wipe him away. And I'm serious, man. I look at Archie Manning, and my grandmother probably gonna watch it, be like, wait a minute, because she's like the biggest Archie Manning fan. She loved the man. Like, she loved Archie, Eli, Cooper, Peyton. If he a Manning, like she loved him. But it's just the truth. Like, I like Archie Manning is more of a Saints martyr, right? And you know, like martyrs, they get held in high esteem. But when you peel back the layers and you look at the game, like who are you replacing? Are you gonna replace Drew Brees for Archie Manning in the Saints uniform? No. Cam Jordan in the Saints uniform over Archie? No. Willie Rofe in the Saints uniform over Archie? No. Ricky Jackson? No. That Mount Rushmore only has four presidents on it. And those are the top 4 New Orleans Saints of all time, in my opinion. I mean, you got some guys who, if Mount Rushmore can, you know, chisel another president, you know, they can end up being on there. But those are the top 4. Like, I'm sorry, like Archie was on there for a while. He stood in the place of George Washington for a long time. But that spot now belongs to Drew Brees. Thomas Jefferson, I mean, I don't know the order. I guess Thomas Jefferson would be next, right? That belongs to Cam Jordan, in my opinion. So yeah, I agree. Archie was not great. LOL. Yeah, I just think like it's more martyrdom than great. Like it's like I said, he is held he's held in high regard, but it's mostly because people are like, yeah, I mean, his stats don't look that good if you peel it back, but it wasn't his fault. And that's what people say. Oh, it wasn't his fault. Right? If, but we all know about if, right? If was a fifth, we all would be drunk. Like, great Saint, just not on the Mount Rushmore anymore. They should have retired number 26 already. Yeah, Deuce McAllister, yeah. I mean, yeah, a conversation needs to be had about that. I say Pat Swilling should have been in the Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ooh, yes. I don't know what, like, he had over 100 sacks, right? I've talked to Pat Swilling. Like, I've done an episode where I did an interview with Pat Swilling, right? Great guy. Actually interviewed him while he was shopping at Lowe's. All right, that just showed you how much of an everyday guy he is. Like, I was like, okay, Mr. Swilling. I said, do an interview. He's like, yeah, let's do it. He shopping at Lowe's, giving me an interview, which is funny. But like I said, just a great guy, man. But yeah, definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Matt Moscona be hating hard on Olave. Do you remember Eric Martin? Yeah, I do. Eric Martin was a really good wide receiver for the Saints. Was their number 1 receiver for a while. Archie would have been gone in this era of football if he would have been a Saint long before. Yeah, man, I agree. But that was during a time where, it was just during a time where teams weren't investing in, putting talent around players and all that kind of stuff because they didn't want to spend that type of bread. And homeboy was getting murdered out there on the field. I mean, it was a crime scene. First 48 every single week. But yeah, but it's not his fault, but that's not how football works, man. It's about what have you done and can you stand the test of time? He stood the test of time, but when we're talking about great accomplishments in a black and gold uniform, other players have trumped what he did. I never thought I'd be alive to click thumbs down on a video. Wow, what happened? What you clicking thumbs down for? Why? What you clicking thumbs down on me? What I do? You talking about me? What I do? What I do? Colston needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Saints Hall of Fame definitely deserves it. Pro Football Hall of Fame, probably not. Probably not. I mean, Colston just played in an era where you had the diva receiver and braggadocious, like attention-grabbing wide receivers just reign supreme. And the quiet, not make a loud sound and nobody know he's in the room type wide receivers kind of, just was just there. Like they didn't get the recognition and attention and respect that they deserved. But yeah, Colston definitely deserved to be in a Pro Bowl. He never went to the Pro Bowl. He definitely deserved to get some recognition, but everybody was paying attention to the T.O.s and the Chad Ochocinco's of the world during that time and the Steve Smiths. TJ, be honest, how you feel about the linebacker group? I'm not comfortable with it. It's like a pair of pants, man. Going to the store and you have to try them on, right? I mean, got to see if they fit. And right now, you got the pants, you think, like they kind of, you looked in the mirror a little bit. Okay, man, I think I can take them home. That's kind of what it is right now. So it's a bunch of guys that haven't really established themselves yet. And a couple of guys still have some question marks about them. But I have to have a wait and see approach, right? It's a wait and see approach. I can understand, but I definitely understand the skepticism. I definitely understand that because people don't give him credit. Who are we talking about? Give who credit? Our next Hall of Famer is Cam Jordan. Yeah, that's true. I like Danny to start over Pete. He gonna get some reps now. He gonna get some reps. They should have retired number 91 already. Guess we're talking about Will Smith on that, but yeah. TJ, I'm so freaking proud of you, Fred. I saw your video on Instagram stories, and I completely enjoyed your new podcast. Are you going to training camps? No, I'm not going to training camps, man. I'm not going to any training camps. But I will be rolling up to the city a couple times this season. We're going to be doing some pop-ups and watch-alongs at some restaurants around the New Orleans area. So keep it locked right here, and I'll make sure I keep you all posted. But, yeah, we definitely going to be down in the city. We'll be watching games, doing live streams in different locations. So be on the lookout for that, man. And Ruiz can get traded for 2 booties. Man, he got to step it up, man. If you don't step it up, you're going to have to step aside. I'm going either Wednesday or Saturday or next week. Man, that's good, man. I think my brother might roll up to it. Might see my brother EJ out there. I'm there Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be down there first home game of the season. That's probably going to be I'm probably going to be on a location. I'm probably going to be at a location somewhere, at a restaurant or something like that, man, doing a live stream, watch along. I won't get out here within the Who That Nation and stuff, man. That's what I want to do. I want to be, I'm going to start doing like little pop-up areas where we just all kind of just congregate together, man, and interact and do some meet and greets and watch some football games together, That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do this season. I clicked thumbs down on Matt's current video. He got outbid a Debbie Downer talking about Olave is overpaid. Man, I gotta reach out to my guy Matt, man. He gotta come on the show. Matt, if you're watching this right now, look, I'm gonna have to reach out to you, man. We gotta hopefully you got some time for an interview. Says y'all saw Ruiz get beat like a drum today. Oh, that's crazy to say. Good job, Randy. Said Drew asked Sean Payton to present him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Payton got very emotional when Drew asked him. I know, man, because look, Sean Payton going to the Hall of Fame too. Like that, he is going to the Hall of Fame, you know. So the fact that you got to think about it. This is the first quarterback that this guy has worked with. Like Sean Payton first head coaching. Like, I mean, yeah, Romo and stuff. I'm talking about as a head coach, right? Yeah, Romo and, you know, a couple other quarterbacks that were pretty decent, but we're talking about an all-time great quarterback, and he ran your system. Like, you're synonymous with his success. So it's all like Drew in the Hall of Fame is almost like he's in the Hall of Fame, even though he's, in my opinion, he's going to end up being there one day. So, you know, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was emotional. Pretty sure he was. I'm here in Detroit. What up, though? And we'll be at the first game. Who that? Yeah, man. Look, I like Detroit, man. I like Detroit. Been to Michigan before. I just like those blue collar towns, man. I just like the energy of those blue collar towns, man. So shouts out to Detroit, man. What up, though? For sure, Jerry, salute. No, I didn't see it. But yeah, man, look, final thoughts. We talked about a lot on this show. We covered a lot on this podcast. Number one, glad to see the New Orleans Saints back at it. Glad to see the young bull Jordan Tyson making plays. Good to see the defense having a day. Congratulations to Taysom Hill on an incredible career as a New Orleans Saint. Definitely going to be in a Ring of Honor Saints Hall of Fame one day. Drew Brees being inducted into the Hall of Fame, being asked, Sean Payton being asked by Drew Brees to be his presenter. That's an honor, and those two are synonymous with the city, the team, the franchise. Everybody just knows that it just you can't talk about one without the other. So definitely well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame if he's Drew Brees, and Sean Payton presenting him is only right. And Chris Olave's contract extension is great that the Saints were able to seal a deal. Chris Olave coming off his best season statistically, and he showed that he's worth the investment. Like that's all you can ask for. Like if you have a player, he bets on himself. He didn't go out here talk about pay me before he went out there and put the work in. He showed that he was capable. He showed he was worth 100 catches. He showed that he's the number one receiver. He has the capabilities of being really good. And I mean, he got paid. So plain and simple. And now we look at Chris Olave really, truly taking part in training camp. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this 1-2 punch can look like with Chris Olave and a rookie Jordan Tyson. But I want to say thank you all for checking out this episode of the Straight Up TJ Podcast. For those that may just found this channel or probably wondering what the name change is about, still doing State of the Saints podcast things, just changing it up, man. We still enjoying ourselves. We still talking Saints football. We still talking NFL football. And we still going to keep it entertaining, funny, and we also going to make you think. We're going to be real. We're going to be 100, and we're going to, really break this thing down. But if you're into that type of content, if you're into Saints talk, if you're into having a good time, if you're into NFL talk, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, get the notifications by hitting that bell. You can follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. For those that may not know too, you can check out the Sleeper Saints podcast. That is available also. Sleeper Saints podcast, is a weekly podcast covering the New Orleans Saints for the Sleeper Network. And I'm the representative for the New Orleans Saints for the YouTube channel and the content for the New Orleans Saints. I take a lot of pride in that. So if you're into Saints talk, go ahead and subscribe to that channel too. We got a video that's going to be coming up really soon. I actually recorded the video earlier today, but it was before Chris Olave got that Skrilla. So now I got to add that in. But for those that are going to check out the video, I'm going to make sure that I put a little something in there, probably another video about Chris Olave's contract extension. So that video is going to be up soon, probably going to be tomorrow, because as of right now, it's about 11 p.m. Eastern time. So probably going to end up doing that tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that video, and make sure once again you subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much. And until next time, I'll see you down the road.
TJ. Yeah. Straight up. Let's go. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Tap in, sit back, press replay. We're locked in with the Saints on a weekday. Now we talk every sport, every big play. Years on the grind, now we level up the view. From the dome to the world, get a better look at you. No script, just truth when we break it down. Barbershop talk, but we broadcast it loud. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. Real time talk, yeah, you know that it's live. From the draft to the deals, how the stars really thrive. From the court to the field to the big stage. We gon' cover every angle like a back page. No cap, no spin, just a clear take. If it's weak, we gon' say it, let the fear break. From the city that believe when the odds stack, TJ got the whole sports world in the group chat. Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. TJ Jones. Turn it up, let it ride. Straight Up TJ. We on your side. New chapter, same grind, same name. Hit play, pull up. Join the gang.